Nintendo Wi-Fi connection termination notice. Hello. As of May 20th, 2014, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service will be discontinued and it will no longer be possible to use online features of Wii software such as online play, matchmaking, and leaderboards. For a full list of which Nintendo published games are affected, please visit our support section on the Nintendo website. The Wii Shop channel will not be affected, however, and will continue to be accessible after May 20th. We thank you for your understanding and continued support. Nintendo. Well, let's have some fun for one final time. My Wii's gonna sound like a printer. Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here for our final Wi-Fi matches series. This time it's Spectrobes Origins, the third and final of the Spectrobes games out of this point. Now, I'm not exactly going to go too much into the controls or anything. I'm just going to tell you about the controls that I'm going to be using. Of course, it uses... yeah. And, well, I don't really know what to say, really. Wi-Fi connection's already available right off the bat. And I think it's recommended to beat the game before you actually do this. So, want to connect, because really the only thing that you can do on this game is just get into leaderboards. That's pretty much all that this Wi-Fi connection is. This is a bit of an obscure game. Spectrobes isn't that well known on the Wii, but it is the best looking game out of the series, and it also has the best play scheme, but it is also one of the most difficult. I classify this as the second difficult, because I can't really find a strategy for any of the bosses. It's just hack and slash, and if you get unlucky, you just use a bunch of healing items. But yeah, we've got two different types of modes here, but the battle leaderboard is only available, and the battle leaderboard is only available and accessible to compete in when you beat the after game. Basically, you have to beat the game, and you have to do the bloody after game. That's really annoying. It's pretty much a boss replay mode, but it's even stronger. And yeah, then you unlock the way to do this, but I'll show you it quickly. It's pretty much the best times. I do not even know how you can beat 100 enemies without even make a second go by. I'm guessing that dude cheated somehow. Mine's Polo, but anyway, I don't know if this has been updated recently, so I might as well do that right now. You can see my current record down at the bottom. Well, you can't right now because it's covered up with a box. So if it'll just hurry up and load. I'm using my Metro Lover M setup, by the way. So if I sound a little bit different, that's because the microphone's above me once again, instead of its usual place. And the sun's getting in my eyes, should have closed the bloody curtains. I'm 1,701st out of 2,722 entries. Okay, so I'm halfway roughly. An excavation leaderboard. Every fossil in the game that you have to dig for a child Spectrobe has their own leaderboard. And funnily enough, I'm actually missing one fossil from this entire game, so I'm missing one entire family of Spectrobes. But yeah, you can literally just view your best excavation times for each individual fossil, and that can be done at any time, so that's always available. So excavation's available from the get-go, but battle leaderboards can only be accessed and entered at the very end of the game. And that's the first thing I'm going to show, because I don't think I have any fossils to show off digging, so that could be an issue. And yeah, don't ignore my Scatlink one down there. I'm actually going to use my original file because that's the only file that I've actually played on. And yeah, you can actually rename your files without erasing data, which is pretty awesome. So there's not actually going to be actual online matches, but as leaderboards and everything else like that's going to get affected as well, this game kind of falls into the category of what this whole series is based on. Even though it is mostly matches, this game doesn't really have that. Defeat the Krawl sphere, because I've done the end game already. Basically, you're rallying a planetary patrol policeman, pretty much, and you got Gina. I'm trying to explain this in the layman for those people who don't follow the Spectrobe story. And this game looks absolutely beautiful on the Wii. I am not kidding. I mean, just look at it. Compare this to the DS games. The first DS game used kind of sprites on a 3D plane, and it was kind of cheesy looking. And then the Spectrobes Beyond the Portals, which was the sequel, was pretty much okay. I mean, it was as good as the DS was going to get. And you have different types of Spectrobes. Basically, when you're moving like this, you can always use one to heal, plus obviously to access your menu, sling forward with the remote to send out your child Spectrobe to search those little sparkly dot things. And, well, yeah, you have child Spectrobes which can search outside of battles, and you use adult and evolved Spectrobes to fight. That's pretty much how it works. Once you reach a certain point in the game, you have like this little Pegatitum. It's like Pegasus and Titanium, or Platinum mixed into one. It's like a special Spectrobe that doesn't do any fighting or searching at all. But yeah. But anyway, we're going to cover how to enter the battle first. So that's why I'm heading in here, because even though this is literally the place where you actually access most of your original menus, in here, this area doesn't open until after you've beaten the aftergame, pretty much, which is where I am. And you know when you're at the aftergame, because if you are at this point in the game, check your missions, and that will tell you if you've got the aftergame or not. Those 10 quest orbs. Once all those are lit, that pretty much means that this door is open. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want me to show you something, because I'm level 100, if I excavate a fossil and get an A rank, they are an instant level 100, and I can, you know. But I've got a bunch of level 100s and level 94s pretty much around here, and one level 96, so I'm all ready to go. And there's also a special technique that you can do in battles. You sling forward to make your Spectrum attack, wave horizontally to make them come back. You mash the A button to attack, and that's pretty much it. You've got different types of weapons. I'm not going to show them off though. Well, I probably would, but it will affect my time, so I'll probably do like a couple of rounds of this just to show it off. So yeah, I sling forward into the enemy attacks. Blue energy bar is you. Green energy bar is the current Spectrobe that's in play. These orbs are for the yellow bar, and each Spectrobe has a yellow bar. If you press B, get up. If you press B, cross your arms till the bar fills up, sling them like that to release, and your Spectrobe does a powerful attack, and it does massive damage. Every one of your weapons also has an element, just like each Spectrobe. It's pretty much like the basic, oh, this beats that, this beats this, and this beats that. It's not as complicated as Pokemon, so if you think water would affect fire, it won't affect it as much, it will just do normal damage. Water is effective against ground, for example, so it's not as intricate. So as you can see, I'm using one of my favourite Spectrobes, because, you know, it's a sword. I'm not going to go into the names of them because they're actually kind of hard to pronounce. Press minus while in battle, well, press minus outside of battle to make a bigger version of the map appear, but in battle it will allow you to instantly get to your equipment menu. You can change your weapons. Basically, like I said, all weapons have different statuses, like these 5, but ones that don't have a status emblem are neutral, so they do normal damage depending. Each weapon also has a different number of a different amount of combo attacks and how it's done, and some of these are obviously you can only get by card inputs. And swords are basically what I like to use, but lances have a long reach, but they take a while to wind up, and they do like drill-like damage. They do a lot of damage on the first hit, but the other hits when it digs into the enemy are like kind of weak. Axes are very slow but very powerful, and you will not take knockback or get knocked back when you're attacking. However, that does mean that you probably won't realise your health is low until you get like a warning siren, or if you get one-shotted. Once again, combos differ even. Gloves are for ground pounds and punching enemies away from you. They're pretty good, and elemental ones make a pillar of that element appear, so that's pretty cool as well. And blasters, well, they're long range, but you've got different types of blasters. You've got blasters, normal blasters, which can either be combo shotted or have triple shot abilities. You've got zappers, which shoot like a laser that do massive damage, hard to deflect, and can also, you know, do massive damage by comboing by piercing people. And you also have cannons as the final version. They don't have the best range, but if they hit anywhere, including the ground, so they make like a shockwave or like an explosion of that element. Pretty much how it works, and that's pretty much all the weapons. I'll show off the lances. Basically, you just got to get a feel of how each one of them works. I'll use a fire, why not? I don't use lances that often. I'll get into shields in a second. If you want to block, you just put both the nunchuck and the Wii remote in front of your face, and you have a shield, but it only blocks the front of you. And yeah, pretty much heals. And if I can stab, look at this. I can't attack with this thing. I'm mashing A and I'm not doing anything. There we go. Yeah, but it's not that helpful. And if you tap a direction on the control stick while waving in a direction, you dodge roll. So that helps. I think I just showed that off right before I paused. So let me get out my the Shaka axe. That's actually the Spectrobe I'm using right now, actually. Shakanator, I think it's called. Whatever. Look at this combo. If you need to change your Spectrobes, just like with the child, you hold Z and then you use the control pad to switch team and send them out like that. You will be vulnerable when you switch weapons and Spectrobes though, so that's kind of a thing. But they all have their HP and yeah, it's not easy to recover. So let me get into shields quickly. There's only actually 3 shields in the game. You have the basic shield that you get at the beginning and it just, you know, it was just a shield. You've also got a fire type shield, it's called the Tekka shield, obviously weak to water element, but it gives you a lot more defense than usual. The Sabo shield, however, is exactly like the Cosmo shield, but when you block, it actually does damage to enemies if it was a physical attack. That's the only difference though, plus it's weak against fire attacks as it was grass type. And the only items that you have are healing items. As you can see, Neo heals you 100%, Giga heals you about 300, Mega is 100, and Ice Balls are 30. No, not 30. Is it 30? I can't remember now. I think it's for the early game, so that might be why. But yeah, now I might as well show off the glove. This is pretty much just showing you what you could do to do stuff, and this probably won't be the shortest video I actually do in this series, because I've been having a bit of a motor mouth for this, and we're already going over 10 minutes. Kind of crazy. So yeah, you can either punch them or do like ground attacks. Of course, I'm using the basic glove, so that's probably why. And finally, I'm just going to show maybe one of the blasters. First, I'll show just a normal blaster. I don't know what type it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to fire, because I'm not really memorizing them at the moment. I'm just showing them off. And some of them also have homing effects, I've got to tell you about that. But yeah, that's pretty much all the weapons, so now I'm going to just punch these people in the face. I like to use the Ryger sword, because even though it doesn't have the best attack, it has a 6-hit combo up to max, and it does more overall damage than the 100 Gem Sword S or the Galaxy Sword 3-hit combo. Oh, and by the way, if you see like items with an S at the end, that means it gives you a slight cosmetic change. That's why, well, I don't know if you did see it, but that's why Gina, the pink-haired woman, has a ninja headband. Oh boy, that was a huge mouthful. That was ridiculous. So in this mode, in this pretty much battle arena, you're going against basic Krawl at at level 55. They're all level 55 at random status problems, and your timed. Your best time limit is highlighted in blue, and your current time limit is in yellow, and you also have a counter on how many Krawls you've actually beaten. These enemies are called Krawl, by the way. I'm not going into what names for each mode they are, because this game doesn't actually tell you that. The other 2 DS games tell you what type of Krawl they are, because each Krawl has a name, I just don't know them. But these are like the basic, honest to goodness Krawl. Think of them as the Goombas or the Shadows of this game. And of course, because you're not a Spectrobe and you're using Spectrobe weapons, despite them being legendary, you're not an actual Spectrobe and you're not going to do as much damage than a Spectrobe. I'm doing like an average of 770, and my Spectrobe does an average of 700. And we're both level 100, by the way. But that's because that we can only go up a certain amount with our weapons, and they can literally keep on eating minerals and stuff to level up. Like I said, I'm not going to go into that too much detail, even though I pretty much have with combat. I'm not going into the Spectrobe details because that's kind of... Oh god, I'm about to die. And I can't heal. I just remembered that. You can't heal in this battle, by the way. Because in the 100 Krawl battle, it's like if you win or lose, it doesn't really matter. It's just on how far you can get forward. And I've clearly gone slower than my actual best time, but there's a reason for that. I've been explaining every weapon to you. And wow, my Spectrobe just got a level up. Sweet. Charging, and punch him in the face. He does like a 4-hit combo that increases in power each time. Okay, I'm going to switch now, because I like this dude, because his special does like a spin, if I can get it out before I die. Boom! Look how much damage! 2019, 2011, that's crazy. Oh god. Attack him! I'm surrounded! I'm gonna die here. But like I said, I'm not exactly the best at the game. I just play it, and I don't do this for the hell of it. I just do it for the levels, really. I'm surprised I haven't actually died yet, though, because I've been trying to show off all the weapons. You pretty much just want to stick with the best weapon that you like to use and just use the best Spectrobes you have. But because I've been showing off the weapons, that's kind of messed me up. And I'm already up to 15 minutes. Bloody hell. And last 20, here they come. These are a little bit more powerful, as you can see. Some of them are level 50, some of them are level 55, but they're different types with different power outputs and stuff. It's crazy. And every time I have to do that, I have to make sure I don't hit my microphone's wire. Ah, another level up. This time it was for this beast. You know what? Let's switch again. I want to use this one this time. This is my electric Spectrobe that I like to use, or flying Spectrobe, therefore. That's the actual term, but it is electricity, as you can clearly see. Doesn't seem to be doing that well, though. And I'm probably going to die in a minute, so let's switch. Let's keep using specials. That's pretty much the key to winning, because they're the most powerful attacks, and they also hit multiple enemies. That's pretty much a key to winning and getting a very good score. I mean, look at that! That was crazy. All of them got hit like twice with that attack. And then I can just come around and finish them off with a hack and slash. Oh, and another instant charge right there. Did you see that? That massive orb right there. An instant charge. And not only that, this freezes them in place as well. Which my weapon actually does on occasion, as you've noticed. And there we go. 4 minutes. Not exactly the best score, but you know. So, yeah. I'm going to give that another whack, but this time I'm actually going to do better. But first I'll quit so I can touch the save point and heal. Because that heals all your Spectrobes as well as everything else. So, yeah. And if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts 3D and Pokemon X and Y, well, in Spectrobes, you can stroke your Spectrobes and pet them and everything, and that's pretty much it. And that's not the stairs. Okay, so now I've touched the save point, I'm going to give it another whack and actually do something. Because enough with the tutorials on battling, just so you get the feel if you, like, borrowed a copy or a wheel or something that has the save point. But yeah, 100 Krawl challenge, let's do this thing. And if you're wondering if you can actually play as the woman, yes you can. In this game you can play as both Rallin and Gina, while the 2DS game, well, Spectrobes 1 only allows you to play as Rallin. Spectrobes Beyond the Portals alternates between the two for certain things, like for puzzles it comes to Gina, and when it comes to battling, which is most of the game, you play as Rallin. And then Gina's unplayable for the rest of the game, pretty much, once you beat the game at least. But in this game, you can alternate between the two of them as much as you like. So if you're like a male or female, if you're either a boy or a girl, you can play as your gender pretty much. But you'll always be Rallin or Gina or both. You can always switch. It's no big of an issue. Okay, whack 'em please. You know, we'll just do another fireball if I can get up and press B. Thank you. Fireball. Boom. Now, because I'm actually coming up to 20 minutes now, I'm thinking I might show off the fossils in another episode. Because that is actually time consuming as well, because I might do a couple of fossils of different shapes and sizes, and that can easily take about 2 to 3 minutes each to try and get a perfect score on them. Because I always try to go for 100%, but you always have to do them, well, 100% health, so you don't finish them, so you actually get the level 100s, because you get an A rank, because I'm level 100, so that's kind of how it works. But the thing is, yeah, it's going to be eating time, and I don't really have the time in this episode now. So after I've killed up all these Spectrobes, no, not Spectrobes, I'm playing as the Spectrobes. These are Krawl. Get it right. You played Spectrobes. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've been taking minimal damage. I've already killed half of them, even though I am a little bit behind. Okay, do 3 hit combos and then keep making my Spectrobe attack. That's the best strategy here. Let's go with this one. Because he spins and he does a lot of damage that way. I probably won't do my record. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know how I got 2 minutes 30. I think that I average on mostly 3 minutes. I mean, look at that. I'm halfway, and I've got 30 seconds to take out the next 50. It's not gonna happen. Even though I'm definitely gonna kill a lot here. Boom! Not as lot as I thought. I only killed about 5 of them. Whatever. It happens. And now I'm getting knocked over and everything. My Spectrobe attack! Attack! God, I couldn't do nothing there. Yeah, you don't want to get mobbed. That's kind of a bad thing. It's just basically mash A, then flick, then mash A, then flick. The occasional B, cross arms, and unleash power like that. I should have had a webcam, really. You could see how much I'm focusing. Ah, well. Never mind. It's not my style. Bloody hell. Jesus. Let me move! Okay, B. Always, when in doubt, unleash the power. This ain't Metroid, it's not power bombs. Okay, 74, 75? Come on. I've gone 20, well, almost 30 seconds above my limit, like I thought I would, but, you know, it happens. Gonna have to get some fossils off screen for the next episode of this. Come on. Frickin' mugs. Alright, kill that one, and then I can unleash Armageddon on these dudes. Here we go! Boom! I only killed one of them, you serious? Okay, not using you anymore. Actually, nah, I don't want to use you either. I'll use this. He has quite a far range of his attack. I'm talking about the B special, not his original attack. Even though he does have quite good range of that as well. Okay, I'm about to die here, funnily enough. Not during my little tutorial for you guys, but look at that! Damn! I only got 5 more to go. Got this. Two more left. Let's destroy them. And that one did not get killed. Mug. Kill him. Okay, there we go. That was kind of terrible, but it happens. Maybe I used a different set of Spectrobes before. I have no clue. It was ages since I got this score. I don't think I've played this game in about 2 years, so I am kind of rusty. But that'll do it for today. So in the next episode of this series, guys, what I'll do is that I'll show you. Well, I'll just show you some of my excavating on fossils, and well, yeah, you can just see my times on some of the fossils that I'm pretty good at.